Hello friends, welcome back to episode 5 of Template Thursday with Tammy, where I'm going to bring to you a new template or sketch every Thursday. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Tammy Civello and welcome to Cards by TLC. If you've missed my last episodes, I do have a playlist on my channel titled Template Thursday with Tammy. I have several playlists there on my channel, so please be sure to check them out for more crafting enjoyment, but I will go ahead and put the playlist in the description box below if you're watching the replay. This week, I'm bringing you back another sketch layout that's actually from the 2025-2026 Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog. However, I'm switching it up a little bit. We are turning to page 28 in the catalog, and this is the scrapbook template page. And what I love about our templates is it could be used for scrapbooking pages, card ideas, tag ideas, but this is the scrapbook template idea page. And this template number 4, which is on the top row, really looks like a card sketch as well. So what I love about this is I have turned this by changing the orientation of this sketch and turning it into a cute little card here. So I am using the Darling Dinos Bundle, and I'm pairing it with the Timeless Plaid designer paper. This was in the January to mini catalog, and I absolutely fell in love with this bundle and designer paper. They were my two most favorites in class. In fact, I did a class with the Darling Dinos featuring the Timeless Plaid designer paper, so I absolutely love it. And I will be playing with this bundle on my YouTube live this coming Sunday, which is the 10th, 11th, 13th, June 13th. So please be sure to come back at 9 a.m. Pacific time and join me with more project with the Darling Dino and Timeless Plaid. What I love about Stampin' Up! Is that there are so many hidden gems in the online store that are no longer in the printed catalogs. However, they've rolled into the online store. So I am so excited to bring back some throwbacks of some of my faves. But like I said, both the bundle and designer paper are in the online store, so please be sure to check it out. But this layout is so much fun. By just changing that orientation, it kind of gave it a different look, but still kind of doing the whole concept. So I have my banner piece right here, and then I have my piece of basic white, and where the circle is, I decided to do a cluster of clouds in cloud cover, so that's very appropriate. And then where the strips are, I decided to do a cluster of flowers. So let's go ahead and get started. This is a photopolymer bundle, and it has coordinating dies. And what I absolutely love this is it cuts out all the little images that we have for stamped images. I absolutely love it. So there's the flower. I have already stamped and cut 3 of those out. And my cloud is actually technically the outline to die cut the rock out. But cut out by themselves, they look like cloud clusters. So I have decided to do that and make them clouds instead of outlines of rocks. But we'll dive further into the bundle again on Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time if you are want to catch me live. But let's go ahead and get our pieces. We have our, oops, I have them kind of buried over here. Sorry about that, friends. We have our card base in Pretty in Pink that is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. We have a piece of Blackberry Bliss, which is at 4 by 5 1/4 for the front. We have a basic white piece that is cut at 4 by 5 1/4 for the front. And I have my designer paper that is already cut at 3 by 5 1/4 that will banner off. And then we have a 2 3/4 by 4 inch piece of basic white. That's for our focal points. And I do need to trim this down to 5 1/4 for the inside panel. I have a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of designer paper for the inside. So let's go ahead and do that first and get that out of the way. I absolutely love both sides of this. I have a plaid and a checkered. And I fell in love with this designer paper. It's so amazing. It's so versatile. You can use it for both masculine and feminine cards or kid cards or whatever you're designing. I actually made a Valentine's Day card with this bundle for my husband. It was just it's a really cute, fun character bundle that doesn't necessarily have to be used for a little kid's card. It could be used for an anniversary, Valentine's Day, thinking of you, friendship, whatever you want to do that. So there are the panel pieces, and then I'm going to go ahead and bring in some paper snips, and we are going to trim up and make a banner. So I'm just going to go right up the middle there and then come in and meet those points to make my little banner piece right there. Let's go ahead and glue that down. It's coming together real nicely. And you can totally make the orientation vertical if you would like. I am just making everything horizontal and rotating that whole layout, but I'll be sure to maybe show some more samples on Sunday on my live. And let me get a piece of scratch paper here because we're going to do some ink blending for the grass. Let's go ahead and bring in my blending brush, and Granny Apple Green is my favorite green for a vibrant green grass. Another good green is my Old Olive, but that just kind of gives it a little bit of a grass look. And let's go ahead and stamp our little girl dinosaur. And we're going to do that in Memento Black ink because we're going to be doing some coloring with our blends. And don't worry, she does show a little bit of green there, but that's fine. We're going to be coloring her. And then I'm going to come in, oops, my little grass. Let's come in and stamp some grass. There we go. And let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment, "You're the best." And we're going to stamp that in some Blackberry Bliss. Let's get that out of the way. You're the best. Let's flip that over. Let's stamp that first and make sure that we're good to go. And I'm going to pull this down so I can, that's much better. Sorry about that. Let's quickly do some more ink blending. There's always two sides to the other side. I should have stamped that first just to avoid that, and I still had pretty much some good amount of ink on my blending brush. And then we'll come back in with our dinosaur. Do that there. Now we'll go ahead and add our grass. Go. Our cluster of grass. Make sure that's closed. And then I'm going to be doing some coloring. So let's go ahead and color our dinosaur first. And I have some blends here, and I am going to color her first and foremost in light petal pink. And I'm not going to go all the way to the edge with coloring her, because I'm going to be coloring the tips of that. I think my UPS is here. And then I'm going to come in with some Calypso Coral. Okay. And then I'm going to come in with my light Calypso Coral. Yes, I did. That was some UPS goodies arriving. Always love that. I'm gonna come in here. Add that Calypso Coral around her crown area. And then right here on her horns. There we go. And then her spots. We'll go ahead and color her up. And her toenails. Okay, and then our flowers, we're gonna go ahead and color those. Come in with some dark granny apple green for the leaves. Almost look old olive-ish. Light granny apple would look great. You could do one light, one dark, however you want to mix that up. Okay. Then I'm going to come in and I'm going to do one gold center there. And then the other two, I'm going to do the dark Daffodil Delight on the petals. This would be fun alternating this Calypso and Daffodil if you would like for another look. But I'm just coming in with the Daffodil, and then I'm going to do my centers here in light petal pink. And then this one, I'm gonna come in with the dark Calypso Coral and do those petals just a little bit darker for another look. And when you have a small enough area like this, you don't really have to worry about shading. I'm not doing any blending and shading on this. I'm just doing straight forward coloring, but you can certainly blend her out if you would like. Okay, oops, sorry about that. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and come on in with our pieces here, and let's get this ickiness out of the way. And we will piece this together and finish it up. And we're not going to add any embellishments, just to kind of give it the true sketch look, but you can certainly add some embellishments for sure. I just wanted to focus mainly on the sketch layout of it. Go. Then we're gonna do our flowers. Okay, and our last flower, and we will be done. Okay, there we have it. Let me go ahead and bring back in that sketch. Go. We've got our sketch number 4 right here and our cute little Darling Dino card. Well, that will be it for me today. I want to thank you all for joining me for another episode of Template Thursday with Tammy. And as I've mentioned in the past, if there's a template you would love for me to try out, please comment below where you want me to get it, or if you want to send me a message, please be sure to do so, and I will create your template for you. But in the meantime, I hope you will have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all next time for more creative fun. Bye, everyone.